In this video, I'll share with you an update on my undervalued stock portfolio. If you're new to my channel, I work as a finance manager at a top tech company with an MBA in finance and a CPA designation. For a quick background, since March 2024, I started to invest $1,000 each month into building my undervalued stock portfolio. So that means that I invested $4,000 so far from March to June. I'm also investing $1,000 each month separately into building my dividend stock portfolio, and you can check out my previous video on my channel for an update on that. And without any further ado, let's go into my Excel file to check how my undervalued stock portfolio has been performing so far. So this table shows my entire undervalued stock portfolio so far. As you can see, I have 10 different stocks in my portfolio. I also have the average cost at the time of investment in each stock, the number of shares that I own in each company, and the total investment, which is just average cost multiplied by number of shares. And as you can see in the total investment column, the total adds up to $4,000.62. And in these two columns, I'll first type the current price of each share and then any dividends that I may have received so far to see if I'm gaining or losing money on each of the companies that I have here. So let's start with the first company on my list, which is Apple. I purchased 3 shares of the Apple stock at $173.21 per share. At the time of this video, the current price of an Apple stock is $211.66, and I've also received 75 cents in dividends so far, which means that I'm up by $116.10, or 22.3% return on my Apple investment. The next stock on my list is Boeing, and I own 5 shares of their stock at $181.20. At the time of this video, the Boeing stock is trading at $182.06, which means that I'm up by $4.30, or 0.5% return on my investment. The next company is BYD, and I own 2 shares of their stock at $57.74 per share. Now BYD is trading at $59.08 per share, which means that I'm up by $2.68, or 2.3% return. The next company on my list is Chewy, and I own 23 shares of their stock at $16.84 per share. At the time of this video, Chewy is now trading at $27.18, which means that I'm up by $237.82, or 61.4% return on my Chewy investment. The company number 5 on my list is Costco, and I own 1/4 of a share at $721.16. At the time of this video, the price of a Costco share is now $849.40, and the company has also paid me a dividend of 29 cents so far, which means that I'm up by $32.35, or plus 17.9% return. The company number 6 is Disney, and I own 5 shares of their stock at $104.44. Now Disney is trading at $99.01, which means that I'm losing $27.15, or negative 5.2% loss on my Disney investment. The next company is PayPal, and I have 2 shares of their stock at $60.92. PayPal is now trading at $58.06, which means that I'm losing $5.72, or negative 4.7% loss. Stock number 8 on my list is Shopify, and I have 12 shares of their stock at $62.87 per share. The current price of the Shopify stock is $66.08, which means that I'm up by $38.52, or plus 5.1% return. My company number 9 is Tesla, and I have 2 shares of their stock at $172.22 per share. The current price of the Tesla stock is $197.80, which means that I'm making $51.16 so far, or plus 14.9% return. And last but not least, the company number 10 on my list is Unilever, and I have 3 shares of their stock at $49.66. The current price of their stock is $54.99, and the company has paid me $1.35 in dividends so far, which means that I'm making $17.34 on my investment so far in the company, or 11.6% return. So overall, you'll see that I invested $4,000.62 into my undervalued stock portfolio, and the total value of my portfolio after 4 months is now $4,468.02. This means that so far I'm up by $467.40, or plus 11.7% on my entire portfolio. Soon I'll be picking new stocks where I want to invest another $1,000 as part of my July investments, so stay tuned for that video on my channel.